This is Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, and you're listening to Mark Who 42.
Welcome to Mark Who 42. That's right, Mark Who 42. I'm Mark Baumgarten, your host, and with me, as always, are
Trish-helm
and Eduardo-m-freyre, and I'm part of the Avengers Initiative. Are you?
Oh no.
Hey everybody, Patty-Hawkins here. I side with Cap.
Yes, there's going to be a civil war. Whose side are you going to choose?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could talk about the Avengers movie that came out last weekend, and it was pretty good. But instead, we're going to go to...
Instead, we are going to Doctor Who News with our Doctor Who correspondent, Trish-helm. And for the record, I side with Death's Head. Freelance peacekeeping agencies for all.
Trish?
Oh, God. So we all loved the Five-ish Doctors, right?
Yes, the Five-ish Doctors reboot we all love, definitely.
Well, Peter Davison has spoken about making a sequel to that, and also talking about, the possibility of his Doctor returning to the show one day. And he says that he would love to do the Five-ish Doctor sequel, but he needs a good idea. He doesn't think he has a great idea for it. And also, he wants to actually pay people this time to do it.
That would be nice.
Apparently,
nice to get some money going there, yeah.
Doing a fan project for Doctor Who and getting paid for it, you can do that?
Well, when you're a professional actor, maybe.
I just need one project to get my SAG card, okay?
And then as far as him coming back to the show, he said he might under the right circumstances because he thought, Time Crash was really clever and it worked. But the problem now is, all the classic Doctors, they all look old. Yeah. So it's like, how do we explain all that?
Well, they explained it in Time Crash. There was an explanation there.
Yeah, see, I was thinking that too. And it's like, I know Eddie had an interesting idea the other day saying that, you could get different actors to play the Doctors at different points, have like one really, 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 really young.
For example, if you wanted to have Peter Davison back, you could have him back, maybe, there's some sort of snafu in time and space, and Peter Davison could show up and maybe look in the mirror and go, oh God, not again. And then, you could have maybe somebody playing, a younger-looking Patrick Troughton. And, you have Capaldi's Doctor saying something like, due to the mix-up in time and space, it's sort of played around with your actual ages. And have the Troughton-esque Doctor going, oh my, this would not work. It's good to have a little less wrinkles, but this would just so not work. We have to fix this. You have Colin Baker as the Sixth Doctor, and, he could chime in and be like, well, of course he has to fix it. My natural hair is gone and it should be returned. You just play with it. Time Crash opened the door by explaining why the Fifth Doctor looked older. Just run with that again and even tweak it a bit. Imagine like a 20-something looking Third Doctor, and,
okay.
Just find somebody who can look like a younger version
of
John
think you
Pertwee.
Just get Sean Pertwee and you get him and you just have him play his dad.
Okay, there you go. But okay, but you understand what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. The age thing is messed up by some outside influence, and they have to call somebody to help them. I don't know. Maybe the Ghostbusters. I don't know. Trish, what else is going on with Peter Davison?
He also talked about something we've been talking about lately, the possibility of a Doctor Who movie. Now, he thinks that a movie made with the current Doctor would work. He doesn't think that it could work any other way. But he doesn't know how that could happen, really, because you'd have to have the Doctor committed to the show and then also committed to the movie, and you'd have to have at least a 2-year commitment for that. And he just doesn't know how that would work. He said that in the past there was actually a movie in the works with David Tennant's Doctor, but by the time they actually sat down to all talk about it, he was already gone.
Right.
So, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I think we're always going to be hearing about, somebody talked about a Doctor Who movie. This is just something we're just always going to be hearing about. And theoretically, it was something that was never really taken off the table. Again, the Ninth Doctor and all these other permutations. So, we can start getting either excited or worried as soon as we hear that a script is actually being written.
Wow, I would like to see David Tennant in a Doctor Who movie. I think he'd be great. But, we have been talking about Doctor Who movies the last couple of weeks. So why don't we go to something else? What else do we have in the news?
Well, there is a new book coming out. It's the first official guide to the science of Doctor Who.
Oh.
The scientist's name is Dr. Mark Kukula. He is an astronomer of the Royal Observatory in Greenwich.
Right.
And he has helped written a book about Doctor Who about all the science of it.
Wow.
The possibilities of time travel, life on other planets, artificial intelligence, parallel universes, things like that.
I'd like to get this book.
Well, like, did you know that the creation of the Cybermen and the 10th Planet in 1966 was prompted by 2 American neuroscientists who argued that astronauts' bodies could be adapted to suit the conditions of space?
I actually did know that.
You did.
That one I knew.
Well, you're just Mr. Smarty, aren't you?
I'm just Mr. Smarty.
There's the reason why his name's on the show.
That's right. You have another example?
Yes. The failure of Beagle 2 to land on Mars on Christmas Day in 2003 influenced the loss of Guinevere 1 at the start of the Christmas invasion.
That I did not know. So see, I don't know it all.
There's some other examples, but I think just wait and get the book.
Yeah, when's the book coming out? When's it coming out?
It comes out as a hardback and an ebook on June 4th.
Ah, hey,
and you can pre-order it on Amazon. It's called The Scientific Secrets of Doctor Who.
I'll be putting that on my ebook list.
I give credit to legitimate scientists for basically doing what could almost be considered scientific fanfic in the idea of all this back engineering of genres, because they've had this for Star Trek and Star Wars and just about every other sci-fi franchise. So I give credit to these guys for sitting down and how would it really work, and coming up with something like scientifically plausible by today's standards. And it also, I think, a lot of it too helps deal with the stigma too that so-called real scientists, there's a sizable majority of them that pretty much hate science fiction they feel leading to misconceptions and whatnot about scientific theory. Just ask Carl Sagan about his opinion on that if he was still around, and he'd talk your ear off.
Well, maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell us.
deGrasse Tyson is one of us. deGrasse Tyson, he is a geek. He is totally cool with it. Carl Sagan, though, oh wow, he hated Star Trek. He thought it was just ridiculous. He thought X-Files was the worst.
Oh, really?
He thought X-Files should be like Scooby-Doo, where the paranormal thing at the end is revealed to be some common thing, some common misconception, or Old Man McGillicuddy or something like that. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he was really. It's funny too because I see him on these fan shirts with him in Star Trek uniforms and stuff, and I'm just like, you don't know him very well, do you?
Wow, I didn't know he wasn't a sci-fi fan.
He definitely was not. Which is odd too because he was a big pot smoker. And pot smokers of his age love the hell out of Star Trek. They stare at it and wonder which of the dots in the beginning credits would turn into the Enterprise.
Well, also, I mean, there are certain pot smokers who like Scooby-Doo, too.
Yeah. Well, Shaggy was a pot smoker, if I was correct.
Well, that would explain the consistent need for munchies.
Yeah.
So for the first time, the Doctor Who Symphonic Spectacular is going to be in New York City.
Yeah, they're going to Brooklyn, and I'm very upset because I can't make it. I am on the East Coast of the United States. It is only, 1,000 miles away from me, and I can't make it. I am really upset, but Elisa Stern will get to go. Dr. Puppet Creator will get to go because she's from Brooklyn.
Good for her. That would be nice.
Cool.
Yeah. It's actually going to be hosted by Michelle Gomez.
Yes, the Missy.
Oh, God.
Is it the Missy or Missy? Because the Master, wouldn't it be the Missy? I don't know. The Missy.
You raise a good point.
I think she would probably call herself Missy.
Missy, yeah.
Like she would probably stick with Missy, if only because it would probably be cuter, and she'd get more of a kick out of just walking around and calling herself Missy than it would, than she would.
It would sound stupid.
Yeah,
I am the Missy. You will obey me.
You can't take someone seriously if they call themselves the Missy.
Yeah, no. The Master is anything if not adaptable. So I mean, I think he's just. I think now she is sticking with. My name is Missy. Say something nice. That's the new thing. That's the new thing now.
Well, tickets for the Symphonic Spectacular will go on sale Friday, May 8th at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can either buy tickets at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, or you can get on their website and buy some tickets.
I wish I was going. That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be fun. All right, let's turn on the spoiler alarm.
Okay. Hey, Christian's not here to complain. That's actually nice for a change.
Isn't there a way you could send this to his phone? You know, he'll get a text and turn it on, and all of a sudden he'll be like, I can't escape it. I can't escape it.
Yeah, you got it. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay.
Somebody track Christian down. I want to see if maybe he's curled up in a ball somewhere with the spoiler alarm coming out of his phone. And...
Well, actually, as we're recording this, he's at Oasis doing a Doctor Who panel, so we'd be interrupting the panel, and everyone in the audience would be hearing it.
I'm sure they'd get a big kick out of Christian going, why can't I escape it? Why? Why, God? Why? What have I done? What have I done to deserve this?
Trish, what's the spoiler of the week?
Well, there's a few.
Oh, okay.
So, Gemma Redgrave, we already know that she was going to be in the first 2 episodes of the season. Mm-hmm. Well, she announced that she's also going to be in episodes 7 and 8.
Ah, another 2-parter.
Another 2-parter. I think we're getting a lot of 2-parters.
I think it's all we're getting, which is fine with me.
Another thing, a Doctor Who producer, Brian Minchin, he has talked about Series 9, and he said that they're doing a lot of 2-parters, but they're not just conventional 2-parters. Everything's going to be linked together, and you're not going to see how they're connected until you see everything. Oh. So here we go again with a whole length of stories all connected.
What a concept.
Yeah, I know. But, it'd be nice if they would just do some one-offs where you just that's the story and that's it.
They've done some one-offs last year. They did some one-offs, and then the whole final Amy Rory season were one-offs. I mean, they've been doing one-offs.
There's also a logistical benefit, too, to a lot of these 2-parters as it is, because it's same amount of scripts, but less story, and you can conserve money on sets and everything else.
Definitely.
There's a lot of stuff. As a showrunner from Moppett's perspective, it's basically less writers. It's okay, instead of 12 different scripts, I've got, from 8 different guys, I've got 5 writers doing 12 stories in 6 scripts. That's a lot of streamlining.
Yeah.
Editorially.
Editorially, it makes sense. And I like 2-parters, so the continuity should be nice.
And if you're a writer, that's double the money.
Double the money.
Yep.
That's true.
Brian mentioned it also talked about Missy, saying that she's not going to be the Missy we expect her to be. That Stephen Moffat likes to surprise everyone. Of course he does.
Yeah.
And that he's going to do that with the very first episode. That Missy has a lot of sides to her, and we're going to see some new ones.
Okay.
And we're going to learn more about her relationship with the Doctor.
Well, that should be fun.
Now, here's another speculation thing. There were some pictures released of them filming, and they're filming in a forest, and they think it's going to be for episode 6. And as far as the costuming goes, it looks like it's going to be maybe around the 17th century.
Okay.
And this is also going to include Maisie Williams again.
Again?
Again.
So she was in a Viking story, and now we're in a 17th century?
Now she was dressed as a masked highwayman robbing a stagecoach.
So she becomes a companion, possibly.
So that's what they think, that maybe she's Missy's companion.
Ooh,
and that maybe she's in different outfits for different periods that she and Missy are in. I'd heard this theory before that on some of these episodes they might swivel back and forth between what the Doctor's doing and what Missy's doing.
I like that. That's actually a cool idea. I would pay to watch that, and I don't have to pay, so it's good.
Yeah, I have to admit there's some intriguing possibilities in this.
Yeah.
I have hope, but I don't have faith.
Well, you gotta keep the faith, man. You gotta keep the faith.
I don't think they'll call you for the Blue Lantern Corps with an attitude like that. No blue ring for you, Patrick.
The Red Ring claimed me years ago, son.
The Blue Lanterns are which ones?
Those are ones that are all about hope.
Oh, okay.
Now, Stephen Moffat has also talked a little bit about Missy. I guess people have been asking him if she's the Master regenerated right after John Sims, or if she is an earlier point in the Master's timeline. She says in his head she's the one after John Sims, but he says that he's been wrong before. So
yeah, I write the show, but
I've been wrong. Yeah.
Why did he do that?
My name is Stephen Moffat. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Why did he do that?
Another showrunner can play with it. If he doesn't put it as definitive, it can be played with for any time in the future.
Okay, I mean that's all nice and good, but just don't do that. I mean, just sometimes it's like, just give us a straight answer. Just say yes or no.
Hey, Eddie, here's something that'll make you a little happier, I hope.
Please.
Something else Stephen Moffat has said, that they are still going to address Peter Capaldi's past appearances in Doctor Who.
Yay.
He says they are coming back to that, and he said, in fact, we'll be shooting that scene in question very shortly.
Okay. All right.
I just feel...
You feel toyed with?
I feel it's ridiculous. I almost feel like it's placating the annoying fans that, but the Doctor was already in, are you going to explain the Fires of Pompeii? It just, if you're going to do that, then you need to explain Commander Maxwell as well, too, from Arc of Infinity. And then where are you going to go from there? Are you going to explain the Morbius Doctors, too? I just feel like there's some point you just got to cross the line and say, it is a TV show, and it's not meant narratively to be taken as, some big secret or some lead-in or whatever. Also, too, Pompeii is a personal favorite episode. I love the fact that, the Doctor changed his mind. He saved the family. He was just like, okay, I'm going to bend the rules for this because you're right, it is the right thing to do. And I feel like if you're going to say that was the Doctor all along, then it kind of takes away from the emotional gravitas of it.
Patrick, I'm with you in the sense that we really don't need to explain it, but if Moffat is going to come up with an explanation, okay, but give us the explanation. I thought we were supposed to have it last season. He says he's doing it this season. It's like, okay, all right, fine, but do it. Like, if you're shooting the scene, okay, let's do it. Quit dragging it out.
Just say that Capaldi as the Pompeian was Capaldi as the Pompeian. Same thing that Romana, second Romana based her image off of the princess. Yeah, sometimes faces get stuck in my head and in my subconscious, and, when I regenerate, because I let it go randomly, it just burbles to the surface. Good thing I'm not thinking about hedgehogs when I regenerate,
Right, there you go. That's it.
If they go that direction, I'm totally fine with it.
Let's see what the explanation is.
All right, let's
If
move
it
on to
finally
birthdays.
comes.
Oh, birthdays. Yeah, let's go to birthdays. Whoa.
Birthday's been good.
Yeah.
Cake is awesome.
Cake is awesome. Pie is fun, too.
So on April 27th, we had Russell T. Davies.
Oh, wow. RTD's birthday was last week. Cool.
I wonder what was on his cake.
Cucumber.
Hey,
no, that's the name of his TV show that was just on in England. I'm sorry. Did I say something rude? I'm sorry.
I saw the trailer for that, and hey guys, I think Russell T. Davies might be gay.
He might be.
I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't see that coming at all.
What gave you that idea?
Wasn't that a shirt? I've never seen it, but somebody told me that a couple of years ago that at a convention, someone just had a shirt that says, I think Russell T. Davies might be gay.
I never saw that. That's cool. I like that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, Seinfeld. All right.
Not at all.
Now, coming up on May 5th, we have Richard E. Grant.
That was the other day. Yeah, May 5th. Richard E. Grant, who was in Curse of the Fatal Death that we showed at Weekend TARDIS, our Doctor Who club here last week in Davie, Florida. He was also in Scream of the Shalka as the real Ninth Doctor. No, Christopher Eggleston's role. He was
and
going
here we
to
go,
be,
starting
he was
a
going
war
to
on
be,
the internet.
Yeah, I know.
Starting a war on the internet.
Richard E. Grant was the Ninth Doctor until the TV show was announced, and then he was wiped away, and Christopher Eccleston became the Ninth.
Oh, he's probably not wiped away. It's just an alternate universe.
Right. And he also played Dr. Simeon of the Great Intelligence. He was also in With Nail and I with Paul McGann, and
That's right.
That's a great movie. Great movie.
Well, and he was also in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Everyone was in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, really.
Everyone.
No,
Everyone.
Keanu Reeves that's enough.
Richard Grant is a great guy. He's very warm. He's very humorous.
He's in a show now called Dig on USA that Tim Krings, the guy who created Heroes, is doing, and he's playing a bad guy. I like Richard E. Grant.
You know what? It's weird. Richard E. Grant is playing the bad guy in that, and then the hero of the show is Jason Isaacs, who played
Malfoy.
Daddy Malfoy in Harry Potter. So it's like, when I saw that he was going to be the hero of the series, I'm like, wait, what? Huh?
No, we're watching the series on the first episode. We're going, who is that guy? It's definitely, and we're thinking about it. Says he's definitely British. He's definitely doing a fake accent. And then we're thinking about it, and then all of a sudden, oh, white hair. That works. Okay.
Yeah.
If y'all ever get a chance, check out his Scarlet Pimpernel miniseries. It's quite good.
It takes me a while to watch Jason Isaacs in like non-villainous roles because you have Harry Potter, and then there was his turn in The Patriot where he was just such a scumbag. But it's like, I swear to God,
that on the radio? I don't know.
But it's like he was so evil in The Patriot that, I'm trying to picture him like he could play the Pope himself, and I'd be like, that guy's evil. That guy's just really evil. 'Cause I'm sorry. I mean, apologies to Jason Isaacs and his family. He was just too good at being evil. Like, when he did a romance drama, I think it was Sweet November.
Uh-huh.
The two leads were Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron. And he played Charlize's gay neighbor. But it's like, I saw clips of that, and I'm like, for some reason my brain couldn't click. It's like, he's not being evil in this. He's not being evil. He's not evil in this. It couldn't. The polarities couldn't match.
Trish, who else has a birthday this week?
May 10th is Terrence Dicks.
Oh, Terrence Dicks, yes. One of my favorite Doctor Who writers of all time, and I've met him on several occasions.
I thought he was the only one in the 80s.
Well, when it comes to the novelizations, he was the only one in the 80s, yeah.
I think I have one of his novels in my library.
Yeah, hey, you should buy more from me. I sell those at the convention.
If you have one Doctor Who novel, it was written by Terrence Dicks.
Yes, it has to be.
If you have 5 Doctor Who novels,
they were written by Terrence Dicks.
If you have 10 Doctor Who novels, 8 of them were probably written by Terrence Dicks. Might have 1 or 2.
So would he have also, like, I don't know, done, the Doctor Who cookbook by Terrence Dicks?
Well, he did the Doctor Who monster book.
There you go. So hey, he probably did a Doctor Who. The
cookbook was written by Gary Downey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he probably does, dressing like Doctor Who, how to decorate your home like Doctor Who by Terrence Dicks. Reading the phone book, but changing every name to a Doctor Who character.
Yeah.
As written and audio recorded by Terrence Dicks.
Let's not forget, too, he actually wrote some scripts for the series as well.
Yeah, he did. He was also a script editor.
Yeah.
Editor for the John Pertwee series.
Yeah, I mean, he is a significant part of Who history and busted his chops for the novelizations. But again, too, I mean...
Well, the novelizations were fine.
Novelizations
if you think about it, it didn't have repeats back then. The only way you could experience a story you missed was from those novelizations. So they were very important.
The only reason I really joined the Doctor Who Fan Club of America, besides it wasn't for the thermodynamic pin, which I still have, by the way.
You still have yours? I don't know where mine is.
I still have mine. I lost I did lose my my membership card. I scanned it, but the actual card itself I don't have anymore. But it was because, and Doctor Who in their newspaper magazine published quarterly, in the back, they had all the novels available for sale, and I think I ordered like $100 worth of them. That was a pre-gateway to closest you're going to get to pre-Baker stuff. And I still have the most of them, as I know you certainly do, Mark.
I'm selling them.
That's right.
I'm selling a whole bunch of them.
And you know what? Here's the deal: they're good reads. They're not particularly deep, but they're good and quick adaptations. And he fills in some little cracks here and there, character-wise, and they work great as just. If you're on a road trip or you just spending several hours on the toilet.
And they're only about like 130 pages each. So, I mean, it is a quick read. It's a fun read, and you get stories. Even the missing episodes that you can't get anywhere else, even on DVD, you can get in the novelizations. And yes, take a drink, because we have just plugged Mark Who 42's books.
I suppose it could be worse. You could be like, some sort of Doctor Who novelization drug dealer type, in back alleys with a stack of books. Hey, you want a novelization of Tomb of the Cybermen? Hey, I got Tomb of the Cybermen. You want Tomb of the Cybermen? Hey, you're looking for Ice Warriors? I got Ice Warriors. I got Ice Warriors in the box.
Okay, Trish, do we have any other birthdays?
On May 12th, we have Catherine Tate.
Ooh, I'm not bothered. Are you bothered? I'm not bothered.
The companion everybody can agree upon.
I love Donna Noble.
Yep. And don't, of course, if you wish her happy birthday, don't tell her I love your work on Doctor Who, because she's not supposed to remember.
That's right. She can't remember.
Yep. Don't fry her brain on her birthday. That's rude.
That would be rude. Just
talk
to her about her roles and other things.
She's not done. They're gonna bring her back. They're gonna restore her memory in something, and they're gonna give her a proper farewell.
They better.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is all the news and birthdays we have for today.
All right. Well, then we're going to go to a little commercial break. We're going to talk about my books again during that break. When we come back...
Anybody want the end of Trotton? I got an end of Trotton. Come on. Who wants them? It's in the box. I got end of Trotton.
When we come back, we are going to focus on a very special... It's not just annually now, because it's going to be several times a year, I think. Called Twice a year. A special event that takes place at Disneyland in California called Galliday. It's a Doctor Who fan gathering at Disneyland. And we have Amy McCain, who runs Galliday, on our show. And we will have her right after this. Attention all Whovians! While you're waiting for the new episode of Doctor Who, start your own adventures with a book from Mark Who 42 Books. They carry unique and rare books at affordable prices. Visit Amazon.com/shops/Mark-Who42. That's Amazon.com/shops/Mark-Who42. Mark Who 42 Books. Set your imagination free into the Whoniverse.
Pixels in the Animation is the Geekcast-Radio-network's video game cartoon review show. We are covering every episode of 9 different video game cartoons. Join TV's Mr. Neil and myself, TFG and Mike, as we trek through multiple Mario tunes, Zelda, Captain N, Mega Man, Sonic, and we are also driving through Donkey Kong Country. Pixels in the Animation is 100 episodes of video game cartoon goodness, so tune in to help us find the Pixels in the Animation, which you can find every Wednesday on iTunes and www.geekcast-radio.com.
To Dr. Geek's Moment of Science. Here is the lab director and your human host, Dr. Geek. Madam Oracle here. I am the director of research for the laboratory. Dr. Geek could not make it today, so he asked me to fill in. For today's Moment of Science, I wanted to talk about language. While the Phoenicians made it look simple with their consonantal alphabet, creating a language is not as easy as it appears. Just ask Mark Okrand, the creator of Vulcan, Klingon, and the Atlantean languages. Of course, my favorite constructed language is Esperanto. Created in 1887, the goal was to create an easy-to-learn, politically neutral language that would transcend nationality and foster peace and international understanding between people with different languages. It is estimated that there are approximately 100,000 to 2 million active or fluent Esperanto speakers worldwide. I think everyone will learn Esperanto in the future. It's so easy to understand. Let me demonstrate. Mi status aceti ci orangon, inflatiablo strando pilkon, kai la sitelo kai fosilo. Well, maybe not. 1 orange inflatable beach ball, and 1 bucket and spade, coming right up.
This Moment of Science was brought to you by Dr. Geek's Laboratory of Applied Geekdom, a Brazen Wench production, copyright 2014, in association with this network. Join the adventure. Download the full Labcast at www.drgeeklab.com and follow us at facebook.com/drgeeklab and twitter.com/drgeeklab.
Say, Jarvis, is it that time?
The house party protocol, sir?
Correct.
The Pullbag is GCRN's comic book review and discussion-based podcast. Join me, your host, TFG and Mike, and the rest of the GCRN crew as we make our way through the comics we are reading. Inside The Pullbag, you'll also find back-issue classics and origins episodes of how we got into comic reading. You can find The Pullbag every Wednesday on iTunes and on www.geekcast-radio.com. Make your great escape into comics and jump into The Pullbag today.
Travis. Hey.
All wrapped up here, sir. Will there be anything else?
Hi, this is Dominic Glynn. I'm a composer for TV and film. I was the composer on Doctor Who in the 1980s, and you are listening to Mark Who 42.
Welcome back to Mark Who 42. I'm your host, Mark Baumgarten, and with me, of course, are Eduardo-m-Freyre and Trish-helm. And we've got a very special guest with us today. Her name is Amy McCain, and she runs something called Galliday. Hello, Amy.
Hi, how's it going, Mark?
It's going very well. So, Amy, first of all, because this is a Doctor Who show, you are a Doctor Who fan, I take it.
Oh, I am the Whovians Whovian.
Are you old school or new school?
I am both school.
Excellent. Oh, then you fit right in here.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Why don't you tell everyone what is Galliday?
Well, Galliday is a little wonderful dream that I dreamed up that became a reality last year in January of 2014, where I had this inkling that if I put together a Doctor Who-themed cosplay day at Disneyland, that somebody might attend it. And as of 2 weeks ago, we had about 850 people, our third event. It was awesome.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So did anyone help you organize this, or is it just all you?
So far, it's been pretty much just me. I've had a couple people come forward and say, hey, I want to help out. And I'm like, dude, you can do this for me. I had some people volunteer pretty early on, and I'm very humbled by all the people who literally just come out of the woodwork and just, they're so willing and eager to help out, and it's just been a tremendous help, you know. But as far as, like, the main structure of the itinerary that we put forth, if people want to take part in that, it's all my planning. I do all of the advertising by myself, and I don't know, it's I would say it's like 95% myself, and the other percentage is all of the people who are like, please let me help you.
So what goes on during Galliday? What are some of your activities that you guys do?
Well, we start out pretty early in the morning. It's kind of like a meet and greet in the morning where we meet at the statue of Walt and Mickey with a little mobile breakfast or whatever. We socialize, we get to know a couple of people, and then I usually get up there and I welcome everybody to the start of Galliday, and then what we do is we break up into different groups based on which land we want to take over first, and we move people over to one section or the other, and then I say, allons-y, and then we all take over the park.
That's going to make for some great pictures on those rides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a guy come in from a local newspaper that literally followed us from Star Tours to Face Mountain, and I hadn't even asked him why he was taking so many pictures, but it looked professional. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is for the paper. I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad you had a good time. But we also do a photo scavenger hunt all day. We have the extremely long list up on the Galliday webpage, and you don't have to get them all, obviously, but the more you get, the more points you get, and if you can come up with something new and creative that I might not have thought of, then you get extra points for those, and the person who accumulates the most points gets to name the next Galliday. And it's kind of like the big grand prize.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what was the last one called?
This last one was called Jelly Baby Jamboree.
I like that.
Yeah, I loved it. The first one I named myself, which was The Oncoming Storm. I thought it was fitting. And then the winner of that contest got to name it, and they called it The Next Regeneration.
Nice.
And we have the group picture around noon in front of the castle, which was amazing. Oh my gosh. And then we have a carousel takeover at around 2. We do a lunch together at the Pizza Port, which is wonderful.
Yum. That's
oh yeah. I love their chicken Caesar salads.
Oh, they have really good ones. And My favorite pizza there is the barbecue chicken.
Oh, it's so good.
They don't have it all the time, and sometimes it drives me crazy. Sorry.
Two ladies are torturing me. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I already love the gumbo that's in New Orleans Square. Please don't now have me eating a pizza. Please don't do that.
I'm a huge fan of the broccoli cheddar myself.
I haven't tried that yet.
But one thing you got to try if you have not yet, oh my gosh. Across the way from the Haunted Mansion, there's a little shack, and they have, get this, barbecue chicken stuffed baked potatoes. Oh my god.
Oh wow. That's new.
And they're only they're in between $6 and $7, and they're huge. They're delicious.
I've never been to Disneyland. I've gone to Disney World millions of times. Never been to Disneyland. So,
Mark, if you're ever planning on going, please let Trish and I know. We'll have you do Disney boot camp.
Yes, that's what my family calls it when I take them to Disneyland. They call it Disneyland boot camp.
Let me know. I'll join you.
Ooh, hey.
That would be great.
I think we got a group here going, Trish.
Amy, do you have a group big enough that goes to this thing to take over a section of the park, or is it just like convention size walking around?
I did mention before that we had about 850 people.
Yeah, 850.
We could easily take over an entire land, and we often do.
Wow.
That must be such a trip to walk around and just see all these Doctor Who characters.
The perfect story for you. Oh my gosh. This last time I had changed the plans from meeting up on Tom Sawyer Island to taking over the Haunted Mansion instead. So we all did that, and then I was first in line, leading everybody, taking pictures behind me, which was cool. And then after the ride was done, I said, Jungle Cruise, pass it on. And then we did that. We ended up going to Jungle Cruise together, Tiki Room when we did Pirates, and then we're like, okay, let's go ahead and take a break for dinner, and then we'll meet back at Star Tours at 8 o'clock. And they're like, okay, great, sounds great. So we meet back up there, and I'm posting up on Facebook, I'm posting up on our Twitter, like, Star Tours, 8 o'clock, Star Tours, 8 o'clock. And then we ended up getting this huge crowd, and again, I was first in line taking pictures and whatnot, and we do this thing, we call it the sound off, where I'll say one, person behind me says two, so on and so forth to the back of the line. Then they yell the final number of our group back at me so I can tell the person in line how many people we have. Yeah, you can see where this is going.
God. Oh, God.
So, I'm getting towards the front of the line, and, the lady up in front is like, how many people? 2? Okay, righty over here to the right. Thank you. How many people? 3? Okay, we're over here to the left. She gets to me. How many people do you have in your group? 31. She kind of stops and blinks and shakes her head a little. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, 31. She's like, hold on a minute, and reaches for the phone.
She didn't know how to handle it.
No information on this. Don't know how to react. But no, that was probably one of my absolute favorite moments of Galliday.
It actually brings up a point that I wanted to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
How much support would you say you get from the people at the park? I mean, are they kind of enthusiastic that you created this huge thing, or when you guys walk in, are they like, oh no, the Whovian people again?
Actually, I was running late. I had to go pick up a friend to come with me because he'd never been to Galliday before, and he's one of my bestest friends, and he is a huge Doctor Who geek just like us. So I picked him up. I was running late. I didn't have time to eat breakfast, so as soon as I got into the park, I ran over to the fruit cart and I picked up a banana because it's a good source of potassium. Bananas are good. And like a vitamin water or something, and the lady who was at the cart, she's like, oh, it's you. I'm like, it's me. Who are you? And she's like, you're the one who does Galliday, right? I'm like, yeah. And she reaches into her pocket, pulls out a sonic screwdriver.
Nice.
And I'm like, you are literally the first park employee that I talked to today, and I'm already having a fantastic day.
Nice. Trish and I kind of had a similar experience. We went together to Disney back in 2013,
mm-hmm.
and first thing we did was we went to City Hall to get ourselves buttons, and the lady who took care of us, she saw that hanging out of Trish's purse were 2 sonic screwdrivers, and she's like, oh my god, sonic screwdrivers, are you guys Doctor Who fans? So yeah, we had just gotten into the park, and yeah, we run into a Who fan.
You would be surprised at how many park employees, cast members are like closet Whovians. Oh my gosh.
Even Goofy.
Saw that picture.
Yeah, you saw Goofy with the sonic screwdriver. Yeah, even Goofy loved it.
Yeah, he went to take a picture with Goofy, and he's like, here, do you want to hold this? And Goofy just started jumping up and down, getting all excited, and he was so happy.
Oh, well, we have a picture of on our Galliday Tumblr of Goofy actually like doing the LZ kind of, Geronimo thing with the screwdriver. It's funny that you mentioned that because it's happened before.
And we took our sonic screwdrivers on Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, and we put the guns down and used those instead for our picture. And that was nice, too.
Oh, speaking of sonic screwdrivers and rides, when we took... Oh, yeah. It was funny. I even got this on video, too. I'm sitting in the back of the boat on Pirates of the Caribbean, boatload full of Whovians, and when it gets to the point in the ride where like the city's burning and like all the pirates are singing yo ho, I said Sonic's up, and then all of a sudden the entire boat is rocking back and forth with sonic screwdrivers in the air to the tune of yo ho.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, that's it. I have to go to the next Galliday.
Oh, you are more than welcome, my dear.
How long have you been a Disneyland fan? And this might be kind of a weird question as well. Are you a Disney fan as well? You'd be surprised how many people I know that are Disneyland fans, but don't really like Disney.
I am currently wearing my Karen Hallian printed shirt. It's the Alice in Wonderland.
I have that.
With the TARDIS on it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hers.
I have a tattoo on my ankle of the Cheshire Cat. What's that say to you?
Nice.
Yes, I am a Disney fan. I have been going to Disneyland since I was itty-bitty. I'm a local San Diegan, so, it's right up the road.
Right up the road. Nice.
I've been a Disney World fan since, I don't know. And Trish got me into Disneyland, because I think before Trish and I went in 2013. Last time I'd been to Disneyland, I was like 9 years old, and my little sister hadn't even been born yet. So it was almost like walking in it for the first time, especially with all the stuff that's been added since.
Oh, yeah. They're constantly expanding.
So who's your doctor?
My doctor? Ooh.
Yes.
Well, as mentioned before, I am a fan of both classic and reboot. I will be perfectly honest. I rate sexy on a scale from 1 to Tennant.
As do I.
He was actually my first doctor, believe it or not. It was Tennant. Obviously, I love everything to do with Doctor Who, but you never forget your first doctor.
No, you sure don't.
Other than the fact that she gave it to me, there's also a reason why I have a T-shirt that mimics Ford's wardrobe.
Yes, I do love my Tom Baker. I was literally gorging myself on Jelly Babies this last Galliday. Well, it was called Jelly Baby Jamboree, so it had a bunch of Ford running around, and every time you bump into them, would you like a Jelly Baby? I'm like, well, I don't mind if I do.
Another question would be, what was your reaction in the 50th anniversary when they got to the curator scene?
Oh, I squeed. I squeed so loud.
A lot of people
did. my friend got up and actually left the room to go get something from the kitchen. I'm like, you're stupid. Get back here. And she's like, I'll be right back. And all of a sudden, he pops up on the screen. I'm like, well, first you hear his voice. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I know that voice.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And then it showed him, and I squealed loud. And she's like, what did I miss? I'm like, I told you not to get up.
Yeah, no, I was the same way. We're watching, and the voice comes on, and all of a sudden I'm like, sharp and take a breath. And it's like, and then when his face comes on, I just started squealing like a little girl going, it's the Tom, it's the Tom.
It's the one moment in American history where thousands of Whovians stood up at once in front of their TVs and all had a standing ovation.
Oh, hell yeah.
So where do you want Galliday to go from here?
Yeah, because we've got some co-hosts. The co-hosts that aren't here are based in Orlando. And they're thinking, we should do a Galliday at Disney World.
Oh, yeah, it's in the works right now.
Oh, it's in the works. Good.
Oh, yes.
They're not here to talk to you about that.
Ever since the first Galliday, the first thing that they asked me was like, hey, can we do this twice a year? And I'm like, whoa. Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll do it twice a year. The second thing that was asked of me, can we do this in Walt Disney World?
Yeah.
I'm like, let me think about that. And I'm like, yes, I would love to do one. I don't know if it would be twice a year, such as over here, maybe once a year, because, and anybody over there that wants to help me out.
Yeah, I will have Christian and Patrick contact you.
Awesome. Reaching across the United States with what little teeny tiny budget that we do have, it definitely helps to have minions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in fact, Christian's wife works at Disney, so you have an in there.
Have you ever thought about trying to invite any of the Doctor Who celebrities to Galliday?
I constantly put it out there. I'm like, hey, man, here's my card. Hopefully I can get into Comic-Con this year. I've tried so hard to get a fan table up on the mezzanine, but unfortunately I didn't get in this year. Hopefully they'll have a cancellation at the last minute so I can actually get one, or maybe I can do it next year. But I have several other cons here in San Diego, at least, that have been trying to advertise for me. There's a local convention called Condor. They do wonders for me. They also have Gaslight Gathering. They do some advertising for me, and they were both at Gallifrey 1. I had the pleasure of going to it last year. Unfortunately, I couldn't go again this year because I really, really wanted to go. But I always seem to run into celebrities here and there, so every time I meet one from the realm of Doctor Who, here's my card. I constantly tweet at them, mostly to no avail. I know that John Barrowman comes to California quite often.
Yeah.
He's him and his husband Scott, they're quite fond of Palm Springs over here, so hopefully I'll catch him right at the right moment.
I bet Yuji and his family would like to come.
He was in the Doctor Who movie, the 96 movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
he's in the LA area, and he definitely likes stuff like this.
Since we're talking about having Doctor Who celebs and everything, no holds barred. You have access to your own TARDIS, so you can go traveling through time and space. Who would be your dream guest? Anybody. Who would you get?
Oh my gosh. The answer is yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Anybody.
All the people.
Okay,
I have a
so
TARDIS.
anybody.
There's room. I can fit them all.
Oh, okay. So you'll just run through the cast of every single episode and just say, "Come on in."
Exactly. Like, hey, you know that thing that you pretend to do? I've got a real one. Come on in. I'm gonna take you on a trip, dude. I would become. Would I be Bill or Ted at that point? I'm traveling phone booth. I have a report to do. Let's go get some people from history.
Karen Gillan, she went on her birthday to Disneyland back in November. So
yeah,
it's like,
a friend of mine took a picture with her. I'm like, what? Where was I?
It's like, maybe the next Galliday should be on Karen Gillan's birthday.
Yeah.
Actually, they said that Gwen Stefani was at the park on Galliday.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see some pictures on that.
And of course, then the picture that I saw was her in a red and black plaid shirt of some sort. So every time I saw red and black plaid, I was like, what? Is that her? I never ended up seeing her.
When we went, Trish, weren't there a couple of celebs running around that we didn't run into?
Yeah, well, we saw the little girl from Modern Family that plays Lily.
Oh.
Saw her running around with her sister, her twin sister. And then we saw the lady from The Office that played Meredith.
Okay, cool.
We saw her there, and I don't know, you're a lot closer to Disneyland than I am, so how often do you go?
Probably like twice a month.
Twice a month?
Annual pass.
Nice.
Baby.
Let me guess, annual pass?
Oh, yeah.
2 times a month, of course it's an
There you go. Yeah.
Can't afford to pay by the day.
Well, the parking is like $17 now, so...
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
Twice a month, that's good for me.
Yeah. So who's the biggest celebrity you've seen? Or do you... So for me, sometimes when I'm in the park, I have like blinders on. I'm just so happy to be there. I don't even look at other people. So I don't notice the celebrities.
Oh, see them at the park?
Yeah.
Actually, one of the biggest celebrities that I actually got a glimpse of was back during Christmas time. They were doing a lighting of the candle ceremony or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Candlelight procession.
Yes, that's the one. And then they usually have a celebrity come in and narrate while the choir behind them sings.
Yes.
It was a beautiful setup, by the way. But the guest of honor was Jeff Bridges.
Oh.
Yeah. He was in this, like, really amazing suit, and he looked, like, super swank. But I was like, ooh, he looks good. Let's get out of here. It's crowded, and I'm tired.
Who did I see? I saw John Stamos.
Oh, you lucky girl.
Saw him. It was right before the 50th started, so this was 10 years ago. Yeah. And he was there to film some commercials for the 50th. And it was funny.
Question, were you eating yogurt at the time?
No, I was not.
Oh, good grief.
Just wanted to make sure you actually saw him. Okay.
He's one of those rare creatures that he looks better in person than he does on camera. I don't know how is that possible, but it is. My mother was with me, and even her jaw dropped a bit, and she was like, holy crap, he is hot. I'm like, yeah.
And it's always like kind of a Debbie Downer when you see like somebody like your favorite celebrities on Law and Order and they're playing the bad guy and you're like, no, you're crushing my dreams.
What are some of the items on the photo scavenger hunt list?
Actually, I can read those off to you right now. I happen to be sitting at my...
Because I've done photo scavenger hunts in Disneyland before, and I was just curious as to how difficult yours are, because I've done some really tough ones.
You're supposed to be interviewing her, not prepping for a scavenger hunt. Is that cheating?
Home team advantage. Home team advantage. Like for the doctors, as like First Doctor is it. And they're sort of based off of episodes of Doctor Who. So, like, the First Doctor, the challenge is the Aztecs. So it's like, First Doctor somewhere in line for Indiana Jones must be posed, you know? Second Doctor playing a churro like a recorder.
Nice.
Third Doctor, poor old Bessie. Third Doctor and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride car.
Oh, nice.
Extra points if it's yellow car.
Yellow? I was just going to say, it's got to be yellow.
Fourth Doctor is like, offer one of the candy store employees a jelly baby. The Fifth Doctor, Caves of the Androzani, which is pictures 5 in a cave. Sixth Doctor, the Twin Dilemma, 2 Sixth Doctors together, which is hard because sometimes there's only one. Seventh Doctor, picture of Mary Poppins, umbrellas up.
Nice.
Eighth Doctor, again, this one takes place on Indiana Jones. It's simply entitled, Look Into the Eye. I thought it was clever. War Doctor, picture with 10 and 11. Ninth Doctor, it's the Doctor dances, so a picture of 9 and Rose dancing together. 10th Doctor, wear your signature 3D glasses. I have to change this one because it was in front of the Captain EO sign, which is no longer there, unfortunately. I love my Captain EO. 11th Doctor, take a picture with any Disney character or cast member wearing a bow tie.
Bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. 12th Doctor, take an action shot with Clara in what appears to be a dangerous situation. For extra points, you get 12 extra points if you get a picture of all the doctors lined up in sequential order. It's not that hard. And then you get fun stuff like Silence in the Library, River Song with Belle, you know? Idiot's Lantern, 10th Doctor and or Rose with Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, Root and Ginger, John and Noble and or Amy Pond with Ariel. You know, it's just, you know, it's just stuff like that.
Those are very clever. Those are very clever. I love them. I want to go.
Picnic at Asgard is River Song, any doctor with Thor.
Oh, wow.
It's fun, crazy stuff like that. Gridlock, take a ride on Autopia, take a picture.
That is so cool.
I give you wiggle room for being creative. Like, I give you some stuff like The Bad Wolf, or The Girl Who Walked the Earth, The Most Important Woman, Girl Who Waited, The Impossible Girl. You know, it's like, come up with something clever. Just for those, you know, Silence Will Fall. Come up with something clever. I'll give you extra points for it. I have a section called Fine Wine Companions. Any group of classic companions. So, we're talking Adric, Ian, Barbara, Susan, Dodo, Tegan, Layla, Romana, 1 or 2, doesn't matter. Sarah Jane, Perry, anything, you know. And usually I get a ton of people.
Oh my gosh, I so need to go to this. We all need to go to this.
We do. This would be a fun field trip.
Yes, it would.
Definitely welcomed.
Thank you.
We need to figure out how to do something for like a classic episode, like Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Hey, like it.
There we go. Take a picture with a clown in Disneyland attempting to kill you. But then what do you do for Rings of Akatan?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't. You totally just don't.
Oh, seriously, we have one. It's Picture with the Dapper Dans because they're singers, you know.
Okay, all right. Okay, hey, I like that. That's creative. I like it. There you go. Okay.
You know, I can't take all the credit. My friend Erica, who usually plays a wonderful river song, she helped me come up with a bunch of the scavenger hunt ideas.
That's good.
I can't take credit all by myself. Oh no, credit where credit's due.
Oh, as soon as you find out when the next one is, I definitely think I want to try to go. So is there anything else you would like to say? Any other comments or?
Geronimo! No pressure. Wow, just if this is your first time hearing about Galliday, you know, please spread the word. The more the merrier. I would love at one point to break the 1K mark.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And have us all in front of the castle at noon to take a picture. That would be mind-blowing. Oh my goodness.
So if anybody wants to find out about Galliday, you have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook.
And you have a web page too, don't you?
We have a webpage, Galliday.com. We also are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Tumblr, and various other social media sites. Anything that you can put the word Galliday into and search it, I think I've pretty much gobbled all of those things up, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show and telling us about this.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
This has been Amy McCain from Galliday. Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Definitely have to do a team up. Galliday and Marku 42.
And we'll talk to you about the Orlando thing.
Yeah, so the only problem with doing Galliday in Florida is you got to do it early in the year. If you do it even in the spring, you know, guys with the scarves will be melting. And it's
it's got to be like January or February.
Yeah.
I think.
Here at Magic Kingdom Orlando, they have Dapper Day. And they've been doing that in the middle of March, and that's where people are coming in wearing kind of Victorian-type clothes or just wearing really nice. It's a great, wonderful thing, but even in the middle of March, it's just too verschlugging or hot, and I see them throughout the day. They're just dying by the end of the day. So, yeah, it's got to be January, February at the latest.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that with Disney, okay, let's take out the water parks.
Right.
With that, we still have 4 parks, and I've done kind of Disney marathon sessions, and you could probably, I mean, if you really want to visit the parks, you could probably get away with 2. Like, I've done 2 trips where it's wake up early in the morning, get to Epcot right when it opens, do Epcot, and then by middle of the afternoon or so, switch to Magic Kingdom and stay there till it closes. I don't know. I mean, it seems like this would have to be, you know, a 2-day thing, you know?
Well, you know what, Patrick? You and Christian should be put on the detail. I'd like to thank Amy McCain once again for coming on our show and sharing all about Galliday.
Amy, if you're listening, hit me up.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully she is listening, because I would like to listen to myself when I'm on the radio.
Now, they just announced a week or 2 ago, which we didn't get to mention in the interview, that the next Galliday is going to be November 8th, 2015, in Disneyland. Yes, and it's called Galliday 2.5, A Whole Who World.
A whole who?
Who. That's what the winner of the scavenger hunt named it.
Wow.
Nice.
That's cool. I like that.
Nice. And hey, Mark, you were mentioning quick reads earlier when we were talking about Terrence Dicks and the novelizations. A good quick read. Anybody here do Free Comic Book Day last weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Titan Comics did a Doctor Who comic for Free Comic Book Day. You know, it's basically 3 stories with the 3 most recent Doctors, 10, 11, 12, but a nice little appetizer for later on in the year when we have the team up. And it was interesting seeing the comic book only companions that 10 and 11 have traveling with them right now. I gotta say, I'm kind of curious, though. Why did we have an advertisement for Light at the End?
Well, you know what? You can never have too much old Doctor.
That's true, but it's like, wow, that's 2
years ago.
Yeah, that came out almost 2 years ago, so it's like, why are you...
Well, you know what? It was so good, and it had all the Doctors.
I guess.
Like, it's a great thing to buy, and they still sell it, so why not try to sell it?
You know what? I guess that's the case, and I guess they didn't want to be plugging, for example, the big 6 Doctor story, the one that Lisa Bowerman's involved in, the one that's supposed to finally give him a decent ending. Maybe they didn't want to plug that too soon, you know? But it was still kind of weird. Although I gotta say, the image of all the Doctors together, kind of looking up, that's awesome. I want a poster of that. I want that on my wall.
Before we go, I'd like to mention that Patrick, Christian Basil, and I will be appearing at Space Coast Nerd Fest on the weekend of May the 23rd and 24th at the Melbourne Auditorium in Melbourne, Florida. It's going to be fun. I will be selling my books and other Doctor Who merchandise there, too. So we're going to have a good time, aren't we, Patrick?
Heck yeah, we are. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Right.
This is a new show. I believe this is their second year.
Their second
one,
yeah.
They've got a really good vibe, and I'm really excited to be out there and taking a part of this. And
Gil Gerard is going to be there. Buck Rogers himself. He's kind of old now, but still, it's cool.
Hey, it's Buck Rogers, man.
It's Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers.
You know, he just aged in the 21st century instead of the 25th. There's going to be jousting there all weekend, too. That should be fun.
And hey, for those on this coast, a little over a month later, Trish and I are going to be at RageCon over in the Reno Sparks area. And hey, there's going to be a lot of gaming going on at the con, and we're in the midst of trying to get together some rounds of Cards Against Gallifrey. Of course, mind you, this is going to be for the big kids. This is going to be for the adults. It's going to be late at night. But hey, for those of us Whovians who are of legal age, come on over, play Cards Against Gallifrey. We recently went to a gaming event about a couple of weekends ago. And yeah, Trish and I did a round of Cards Against Gallifrey with some fellow Whovians, and we just had a grand old time. It was awesome. Of course, even more awesome because I won.
Well, yeah, of course. And you're not really supposed to win as a host of something. You're supposed to lose.
Well, we weren't hosting the game so much as we started the game up. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Trish, would you say that's fair? That's accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, we weren't really hosting the game, but still, the point is I won, which is good because right out of the gate, one of the white cards had to do with the Fourth Doctor, and I was like, I need to avenge my Tom, so I did.
All right.
I did, and so I may get a T-shirt done saying I am the master of Cards Against Gallifrey.
Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, MarkWho42, tweet us at MarkWho42, and go to www.markwho42.net and join the Whoniverse Army. Yeah, we're still calling it the Whoniverse Army because we are still part of the Whoniverse, MarkWho42. Also, for old shows, go to iTunes. Go, like I said, to markwho42.net. Go to florida-geek-scene.com and Geekcast-Radio-network. They've got our show hosting there, too. You can find us in a lot of places around the net, and we will find you next week here on MarkWho42. Any final words, guys?
You know what? Now that came out of my mouth and I said I'm master of Cards Against Gallifrey, I need to take a picture of myself in a master outfit, Roger Delgado beard, going, "You will fall before the power of my white card that says Power Ranger Daleks. I am the master of Cards Against Gallifrey, and you will obey me."
When you leave the table, you need a bunch of little tiny cards there that have been matter compressed.
Compressed. That's good. That's a good one.
That's funny. Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.
MarkWho42's Whoniverse has been written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Patricia Helm, Eduardo-m-Freyre, and Patrick-Hawkins. This show was edited, produced, and directed by Mark Baumgarten. Please visit markwho42.net and register to join and be a part of the Whoniverse Army. We can be contacted by email at mark@markwho42.net with the subject line ? If you have worked on Doctor Who or are working on a project relating to Doctor Who and want to be on our radio show, please email our media relations director, Christian Basil, at markwho42media@yahoo.com. Doctor Who and its properties are owned by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. This show is owned and copyrighted by Mark Baumgarten, 2015. You're listening to Krypton Radio.